The confirmed number of coronavirus cases in Los Angeles County comes to 663,954. The confirmed number of deaths reaches 9,153. Here in Torrance, the total number of confirmed cases is 3,338, with total confirmed deaths at 83. We anticipate those numbers to change as the county updates its last 24-hour operating period. Welcome to COVID-19 Today. I'm Ben McCain. It's 4 p.m. on Thursday, December 24th. Merry Christmas Eve to all of you at home joining us today. Los Angeles County hit another grim milestone in this pandemic. The county's public health reported again the highest number of new COVID-19 related deaths and hospitalizations ever since March. As of Wednesday, more than 9,000 people have died from COVID just in the county. An additional 145 deaths and more than 6,000 people currently in the hospital. 16,525 new confirmed cases of COVID-19 were also reported, one of the highest since the pandemic began. In Torrance, the number of COVID-19 cases also recorded an additional 150 new cases and 3 additional deaths. California is now the first state to record more than 2 million COVID-19 cases, as public health officials plead with the public to stay home for the holidays. Data from Johns Hopkins University show that the state reached this milestone just 6 weeks since hitting the 1 million COVID-19 case count. While California's infection rate of cases per 100,000 people is lower than the U.S. average due to the sheer number of residents in California, the outbreak outpaces other states. On Wednesday, California recorded the second highest number of deaths attributed to COVID-19 at 361 statewide. The transmission rate also reached a new high of 12.3% over a 2-week period, and COVID-19 patients in intensive care units nearly doubling in just 3 weeks. The state has nearly 1,000 health workers assisting 91 facilities in 25 of the state's 58 counties. California Governor Gavin Newsom says he expects more than 3,000 contract healthcare workers to arrive after the holidays. To date, more than 23,000 Californians have died since the pandemic due to the virus. Officials say there is light at the end of this tunnel, as more than 38,000 frontline healthcare workers have been vaccinated at acute care hospitals with the Pfizer vaccine. The state also received the first of 2 shipments of the Pfizer vaccine, which included 131,600 doses, along with Moderna's vaccine of about 116,000 doses. Beginning next week, skilled nursing facilities, along with first responders, will be offered the vaccine. The federal government is close to delivering about 20 million doses of the COVID-19 vaccine nationwide, but officials admit while distribution has begun, states are taking longer than expected to administer the doses. General Gus Perna, who co-leads Operation Warp Speed, the federal effort to develop and distribute COVID-19 vaccines, treatment, and test, says about 15.5 million doses will be delivered by the end of the year, with the remaining 5 million arriving the first week of January. But despite the massive rollout, only 1 million of the nearly 9 million doses distributed so far have been administered. Officials say the lag is likely caused by a variety of factors, including the logistical challenges of starting a new program, the difficulties of administering the vaccines, and the fact that many hospitals are overwhelmed with COVID-19 patients. Here in California, Governor Gavin Newsom launched Vaccinate All 58, a new campaign to ensure a safe, fair, and equitable vaccine for all 58 counties in the state. Vaccines will be administered in phases by prioritizing groups according to risk and level of exposure. While the initial doses are designated for California's essential healthcare workers and those among the most vulnerable to long-term care facilities, he says his hope is here, and the promise of ending the pandemic is on the horizon. For many wondering if they should opt to get the vaccine once it becomes available, well, health officials say yes, everyone should choose to get the vaccine to ensure herd immunity and to potentially avoid getting seriously ill if you do contract COVID-19. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says, based on what's known about vaccines for other diseases and early data from clinical trials, experts believe that getting vaccinated may not only prevent serious illness, but also protect people around you and keep people from spreading the virus that causes COVID-19. Now, along with getting the vaccine, experts say wearing masks and social distancing is recommended to help reduce your chances of being exposed to the virus or spreading to others. To better understand the Pfizer and Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention shared some basic information about what the vaccine is and how it impacts the body. The vaccines rolling out now are called an mRNA vaccine. Now, to trigger an immune response, many vaccines put a weakened or inactivated germ into our bodies, but not the mRNA vaccine. Instead, it teaches our cells how to make a protein or even just a piece of a protein that triggers an immune response inside our bodies. That immune response helps to produce antibodies, which will ultimately help protect people from getting infected if the real virus enters the body. At the end of the process, our bodies have learned how to protect against future infections. Now, to break down some myths about the vaccine, experts say the mRNA vaccine cannot give anyone COVID-19 and does not use the live virus. It also does not affect or interact with our DNA in any way. The mRNA never enters the nucleus of the cell, which is where our DNA is kept, and then once the cell breaks down, it gets rid of the mRNA. Also, it turns out mRNA vaccines are not new, just unknown. Researchers have been studying and working with mRNA vaccines for decades for the flu, Zika virus, and rabies. And beyond vaccines, cancer research has also used mRNA to trigger the immune system to target specific cancer cells. Experts say while this vaccine was created at historic speeds, it's been held to the same rigorous safety and effectiveness standards of any other types of vaccines in the U.S. You can learn more at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention website at cdc.gov. Well, new studies are showing that certain vitamins could help lower the risk of experiencing severe symptoms of COVID-19. After dozens of studies, data shows that vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, and quercetin could help ward off the worst of the symptoms. Experts say this isn't the case for everyone, especially those with sarcoidosis, as vitamin D would not be recommended. But the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's health guidelines found many benefits of boosting your immune system with these 4 supplements. Experts say vitamin C has shown to have added benefits on the outcome of an illness. Increased vitamin D is also said to be hugely beneficial, and vitamin D levels can be absorbed just by soaking in the sun for about 20 minutes every day or in supplements like cod liver oil, fatty fish, and mushrooms, which are said to have a high level of vitamin D. Recent studies show that 9 out of 10 COVID-19 deaths could have been prevented if people had adequate vitamin D levels. Then zinc has also shown to stop a virus from replicating and entering the cells. And quercetin, which is called a natural bioflavonoid, opens up the cells in your body so that zinc can get into the cells where it works. Some hospitals are said to treat their COVID-19 patients with those supplements. People should consult with their physicians before changing their health regimen to ensure their current medication or dietary restrictions don't conflict with these recommendations. Like most things in 2020, the U.S. auto industry was also impacted by the pandemic. While 2020 is expected to deliver the 4th largest annual decline for the auto industry since 1980, sales of new vehicles in the U.S. are expected to close this year down only about 15% compared to 2019. Experts say 2020 could have been far worse if it weren't for the resiliency of retail customers. During the first peak of the pandemic, sales of new cars collapsed as auto plants closed and many dealers were forced to close showrooms. J.D. Power forecast retail sales would decline by as much as 80% in April, but retail sales to consumers rebounded far faster than anyone predicted, with sales during the second quarter down only 34%. The director of automaker analytics at TrueCar, Nick Woolard, says, while it's been a rough year, I think we're ending in a much better place than we expected. Well, the National Weather Service issued a red flag warning for Wednesday and today due to Santa Ana wind conditions, and as a precaution, Southern California Edison issued a safety-related power shutoff alert through today. As of Wednesday, nearly 14,000 customers in Los Angeles, Orange, Riverside, San Bernardino, and Ventura counties went without power. Officials say these power shutoffs are designed to reduce the risk of fires caused by electrical equipment when strong winds are expected. Torrance and the South Bay region did not report any outages. Currently, areas in Santa Clara, Simi Valley, and parts of Ventura are mainly impacted. Customers can view a map of SCE outages at sce.com/wildfires/PSPS. Customers can also call 800-655-4555 to learn more. Many, but not enough, are heeding the advice of public officials this holiday, as travel at Los Angeles International Airport is down only 27% compared to this time last year. LAX reported about 40,000 passengers a day have been going through its checkpoints over the last few days. The airport expects an average of about 920 flights a day through January 4th, which is up from 846 daily flights that took place around Thanksgiving. Nationally, the Transportation Security Administration reported just over 1 million people a day flew last Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, compared to half that number of passengers on a single day just 2 weeks ago. Health officials are urging the public to stay home and only gather with members in your immediate household. They also said for those who are planning to travel out of the area for Christmas to quarantine for at least 10 days upon your return home to minimize the potential spread of the virus. It is Christmas Eve, and if you're still looking to pick up some last-minute gifts, local retailers say they'll be open for limited hours today. While many stores have extended hours in the days leading up to Christmas, many are closing early today. Many retailers also offered same-day delivery and curbside pickup to provide alternative options to avoid crowds. Stores like Target are offering same-day Christmas Eve delivery through shipped on orders placed on the Target app or on their website as late as 5 p.m. tonight. Amazon is also offering some same-day delivery options for today as well. Now, with just a few hours to go, many stores expect to close at 6 p.m. tonight, including Barnes & Noble, Best Buy, Home Goods, Kohl's, Lowe's, Macy's, Marshall's, Michael's, PetSmart, and Ulta Beauty, just to name a few. Retailers suggest calling ahead tonight if you plan to head out to pick up those last-minute gifts. On the eve of Christmas, millions are now tuning in to the NORAD Santa Tracker as it is live and you can see exactly where Santa Claus is in the world. Even this pandemic couldn't keep old St. Nick from continuing his plans to spread joy and holiday gifts. For 65 years, NORAD, which stands for North American Aerospace Defense Command, has been tracking Santa's progress. And while it's normally used to track aerospace in the event of a nuclear attack, this has become a holiday favorite for millions around the world. Around 9 million people from 200 countries use this tool to track Santa's every move as he travels around the globe to deliver gifts. Children can also call a designated hotline to ask questions about Santa's journey as more than 100 volunteers answer phones at Peterson Air Force Base in Colorado. The trip around the world will take Santa 24 hours. Now, to visit every child, he'll be logging 1,800 miles per second, visiting 390,000 homes per minute. This fast speed makes him almost invisible to the naked eye. Santa is estimated to consume about 71 million calories during his journey if he eats all the milk and cookies left out for him. That's a lot of calories. To see where he is now, go to noradsanta.org, or if you call 1-877-HI-NORAD. Well, as we head into the weekend, be sure to tune in to the Weekends in Torrance. New episodes air at 2 p.m. tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. Our very own Rhiannon Chertanich and Popeye share tips on how to enjoy the holidays with your canine companion. Plus, Leslie Robbins talks with a local florist in a Zoom interview to find out how she is keeping her business running during this stay-at-home order and during this pandemic. Then there's a place in Torrance for aviation enthusiasts where it's free to visit and there's lots to see. We'll take you inside Zamperini Field on this episode of Weekends in Torrance. These stories and much more, be sure to tune in this weekend at 2 p.m. You can find us on Spectrum Cable Channel 3, Verizon Fios Channel 31, streaming on our website as well as on YouTube. Well, before we go, at the end of each program, we like to share stories from our community. Feel-good pictures, images, and videos that remind us of how resilient our community is and how Torrance truly cares. Well, one of our producers shared that her daughter decided to take up a holiday collection after taking part in helping to make meals for the homeless over the Thanksgiving holiday. Her name is Isabel Chun, and she's just 13 years old, and she felt inspired to do something this Christmas to help others. So she drafted up a letter and distributed it to her neighbors, asking if anyone would like to donate food, toiletries, and supplies. All the collected items would help children and families in need this holiday at Harbor Interfaith in San Pedro. Well, she was overwhelmed with the number of donations that poured in just 2 weeks leading up to her drop-off of all of the donated goods this morning. Here's a look at all of the items she gathered: monetary donations, along with more than 60 canned goods, 35 toothbrushes, personal hygiene items for men and women, dry goods for the pantry, socks, new toys, and much more. She says she hopes to do this again for the next holiday. What a beautiful gesture, and what a wonderful way to spread holiday joy to others who may be struggling this Christmas, and what a great way to show how you truly care for your community. Great job, Isabel. Congratulations. Great job. Now, if you have a great story to share, email us at covid19today@torranceca.gov. We'd love to hear from you. Well, that's our update for COVID-19 today. Be sure to tune in tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday for new episodes of Weekends in Torrance. We'll see you right back here on Monday as Leslie Robbins brings you the latest. From all of us here at Citi Cable, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a happy holiday season. Be safe, stay healthy, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.